So the second question in the question paper is, what is the difference between a simplex and half transmission mode? Now let's write down the question before we begin. So the question here is difference between simplex and half transmission mode. The main difference between simplex and half transmission mode is the way in which data is sent in the two types of communication. So let's start with simplex mode. Consider, for example, two users, user A and user B. The simplex mode is a communication channel wherein the data can only be sent from one user to the other user. The data is sent in a single pre-specified direction. So if a simplex channel exists between user A and user B, either user A can send data to user B or user B can send data to user A. Both the users cannot send the data to each other. The example of such kind of communication can be seen in real life in TV or radio broadcasting. Such kind of communication usually does not occur in computer-based applications. So, in a single line, if you want to define, you can say the simplex communication channel or simplex transmission mode allows the flow of data in a single pre-specified direction. Moving on, the second type of transmission that we want to look over here is half transmission mode. It's also known as half duplex transmission mode. Now, the half duplex transmission mode allows both the users to send the data, but at a given point of time, only one user can send the data to the other user. So, the way in which it differs from simplex communication channel or simplex transmission mode is here both the users can send data to each other. So if user A starts transmitting the data to user B at time instant t and continues sending this data till time instant t plus 3, user B during this duration of 3 seconds can only receive the data and cannot send any data to user A. Once this time period is over, and now if user B wants to transmit some data to user A, it can go ahead and do that from time instant t plus 4 onwards. The example of such kind of communication can be seen in daily life in case of walkie-talkies or in computer-based applications. You can observe such a communication when a desktop application is sending or receiving the data from a remote server. So only one can transmit at the same time. If the application is receiving the data from the remote server, it cannot send the data to the remote server till the time it has received all the data that is coming from the remote server. So in a single line, if we define half duplex communication, is a mode of communication that allows flow of data in both directions but only one at a time, or only one user at a time. There is a third type of transmission, and that is known as full duplex or full transmission mode. The full duplex transmission mode, as the name itself suggests, enables both the users to send the data and receive the data at the same time simultaneously. The reason this is possible is because both users use dedicated channels to send and receive data. So at the same point of time, user A can send some data to user B and also receive the data from user B. The best example for such kind of communication is cell phones, where both the users can listen and talk at the same time. So in a single line, flow of data in both directions simultaneously.